In order to get to our application account creation page, you can first start by going to howardcc.edu. On our main homepage, you'll hover the cursor over Admissions and Aid and then select Apply. Once you get to this screen, you will scroll down until you see a blue box, Apply for Credit Programs. Once you select that option, you're going to want to go to the Account Creation feature. Now, if you have created an account within the last 2 years and you have an HCC student ID and are trying to reapply, you will just sign in with your email or password. If while trying to sign in with that email or password, you get an error saying that you are locked out or that you have forgotten your password, you can reach out to the recruitment office at recruitment@howardcc.edu so they can further assist you with your password or locked account. If you are creating an account for the first time, you will want to select Create Account. While filling out this information, please make sure that you double check before moving on to the next step that all of this information you have provided is accurate. You will want to put the legal first name and last name. And for email address, please put a personal email address that you have access to and check frequently so we can send you any updates regarding your account. For home phone, you can use whichever phone is available to you, whether that's a cell phone or a home phone, preferably the phone that you use most frequently. For the date of birth, please double check to make sure that you are entering in the correct date of birth. You can either use this drop-down calendar to select the correct day and the correct year that you were born, like so, or you can also just type in the exact date by using the format that is prompted. Now I will enter in some test information, but you will want to make sure that you enter in your personal information. For these four options, you will want to select yes to either of them that pertain to you. If you are seeking admission as a full-time F1 international student, you will select yes. If you are a current high school student, you will select yes. If you are not, you will leave it no. If you are interested in the Nursing Allied Health program, you will select yes, or if not, you will leave it as no. And if you are interested in playing a sport at HCC, you will select yes. This will prompt you with many more questions to provide the answers to based off of your information. Under high school information, you'll want to provide your high school. This list here is all of our high schools. But if you went to either a private school or another Maryland high school or an out-of-state or out-of-country high school, you will select this option at the bottom. It'll provide you with more questions to answer based off of the specific high school that you have attended. And if you do not see the high school that you've attended on this list, you will scroll all the way to the bottom and select an unlisted high school within the state of Maryland or an unlisted high school that is out of state or out of country. This is where you will provide the high school information. For the actual or anticipated high school graduation year, that is whenever you have graduated or anticipate graduating from high school, you only need to put the year. And then for the entry term, you'll want to select whichever entry term you want to take classes in, whether that is in the spring, summer, or fall, or winter of that particular year. Once you have all of that complete, double check, walk through the information to make sure that you know exactly what you have selected and make sure that it is correct. And then you'll want to select a password and create that account. For now, I will just enter in some random information. And as you create this password, please note that you have to create a password with a minimum of 6 characters and one special character. An example is an exclamation point, a hashtag, a dollar sign, or an asterisk. and then you can select create an account. Once you have created the account, it'll prompt you to go in and verify your email address. Once you verify your email address, you will be able to log back into your account and it'll take you to this page. Now, if you want to learn how to apply to a dual enrollment program here at HCC, these are going to be the steps that you'll want to follow. Starting with Start a New Application. You will want to select Standard Admissions Application. Now, if you have created an application or have a student record within the last 2 years, you do not need to submit a new application. Or if you are trying to change your program of study, you do not need to submit another application. For your entry term, if the entry term that is already selected is not sufficient, you will select a different entry term here, and then use the dropdown to select whichever entry term you want to apply for, and then select Submit. Now for this application, you will see that there are red asterisks next to some questions, and some of them do not have that red asterisk. The red asterisk is a required field to submit some kind of information to us on the application. If you do not see a red asterisk, you do not have to provide that information. However, it is recommended. For Social Security number, it is not required, and for dual enrollment students, you are not eligible for financial aid, so you do not need to submit your Social Security number. Under Address, you'll want to put your information for where you live with the street number and name, whether you live in an apartment, the city, the state, which for the state, if you live in Maryland, it is the first option, the zip code, and the county. For cell phone number, it is strongly preferred that you use a cell instead of a home phone, because for your HCC login ID, you will need to have a two-factor login authentication, and for password resets, it'll send you a PIN. Once you have provided that information, you can select Save and Continue. For demographics, under US citizen, you will select Yes or No. If you select No, there will be more information that you will need to provide. And if you have any troubles or questions with this process of the visa immigration information, you can reach out to intlstudent@howardcc.edu. For the rest of the information on this tab, it is not required. However, it is strongly recommended that you provide this information. Under Academic Plans, this is a really important step because this is where you can let us know that you are a current high school student and that you are planning on taking courses before graduating high school through our HCC's dual enrollment program. In order to say to HCC that you want to be a dual enrollment student, you must select yes to are you a current high school or middle school student, and you must select yes to will you take HCC courses before graduating from high school in HCC's dual enrollment program. Now for educational goal, typically high school students will just select courses only. However, you're more than welcome to select any of the other options. Under status, most likely, this is the first time that you will have attended college or university. Under area of study, this is basically what you will want your major to be at HCC. Now, if you are taking a business-related HCC class for dual enrollment, it doesn't mean that you have to be a business administration major. You can still choose whatever your general interest is. If you do not find something or just don't know, I would recommend selecting General Studies, Liberal Arts. Under Academics, this is where you want to provide your high school information. You can select from any of the HCPSS high schools, or if you are a private school or homeschool student, you can select any of those options as well. For the question, when you start classes at HCC, which will you have? You will select will still be in high school and will not have a diploma or GED. Now for the high school graduation date, it is very important that you select the proper year. Now for the date Of course, we won't know the exact date that you're going to graduate because that might be a couple years in the future. You can just put June 1st. However, make sure the year is correct. And you will leave colleges attended blank. Under the interest tab, we have a lot of different academic programs as well as extracurricular and student support programs here at HCC. To learn more about all of the programs we have, you can click on the blue hyperlinks for each of the related programs to learn more. And if you are interested in any of them, you can select yes on the application, and they will reach out to you for more information. Lastly, under the certification consent and signature page, we have our student conduct question. This is in regards to any students who have been currently or involved in a disciplinary process which has led to suspension, expulsion, or was related to sexual misconduct. If you have, you will have to select yes and give us an explanation for that action. However, this does not apply for academic dismissal because of grade point average. If you would like more information, you can select the blue hyperlinks. You will also want to select yes to I certify all information has been presented accurately, honestly, and completely. I understand that once my application has been submitted, it may not be altered in any way. And then at the end, you will want to sign your name. We strongly recommend that you preview your application before submission. As you are going through the application, please double check all of the information that you have provided to ensure that it is properly presented. Once you have reviewed it all and you make sure that it is all proper, you can select Submit Application. And then you will see your application has been submitted. Next, you will want to select Click to check your application status. You will notice it will say Action Required. In order to see the action required, you will select View. These will list the supplemental items that you have listed. For example, visa immigration documents are listed because I selected no to being a US citizen. In order to submit any of these documents that are acceptable, I will select Choose Files and add those from my computer. If you have any questions about that, you can email intlstudent@howardcc.edu. Next, I have the HCPSS Statement of Understanding, Tuition Agreement, and Opt-in Agreement. This is because I selected my high school as an HCPSS high school through our dual enrollment program. These forms can be completed by clicking on this blue hyperlink here. For any students who are homeschool, out of county, or out of state looking for dual enrollment, there will be another form that will be required of you to fill out through this supplemental item process, which it'll have a link to direct you where to fill that out. Once you have submitted all of these documents, please allow up to 72 hours for us to process your application. And once your application is processed, you will see a new tab listed here that says Decision History, where you can download your acceptance letter. And that is how to apply to HCC as a dual enrollment student.